Here at Dale Outdoors, we're all about passing the knowledge. And in this video, we're going to be taking you on a hunt I had just last week right here in my home state of Virginia, and was able to take a real pretty gobbler. And I want to break this hunt down because I really made a bad mistake, and you'll see that in just a minute. The video is not super great because I was filming on my GoPro and my Tacticam. I left my camera in Alabama. They had to get it shipped to me. So, but I was just filming pretty much with just them two cameras. But I think it's an interesting hunt. We're going to be coming back at the end of it, and we're going to be talking about how you can be successful if you happen to do this, and you can have the same success that I had on this day. So you stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Do this, you're never going to be perfect. I just bumped 2 gobblers. I was working. Man, well, I tell you what, I can't believe I did that. But you know, it's just the way just what happens sometimes. You know, you think you can move, and the last time they gobbled, sounded like they moved back down the fence here, and I was trying to get to this tree right here. It was a bad move because I was up against a little skinny tree back there, and I was gonna let them walk off and go back down there and try to call them back up. And well, I tried to move about 40 yards to this tree, and they were right there at the fence. They was coming back up here. Should have known better. Should have known better. But, you know, I've done it so many times before. I thought I could get away with it. They flew down the holler here, so. But that don't mean it's over. I mean, there could be another one in here, start after a while. Or we could move around to them too. They probably landed right down there in the woods, I'd say. And they could get to going. I mean, you know, I've done it before. Spook them and call them back in. Give it about an hour or so. But, hey, don't feel bad if you do it. We all do it. And any turkey hunter, I don't care if they've hunted 50 years or 60 years or whatever, and they've killed hundreds of turkeys like I have. If they say they ain't done it, they're lying. Everybody does it. But it still hurts when you do it. And that sucked. Phew. A little closer. And they circled me. They just don't want to come down this hillside. They want to stay. Man, right over where I was sitting yesterday. Or day before yesterday. Right over there where I was sitting day before yesterday. Right there. Man. I see them out there. Yeah, they're going back around the hill. Didn't it? What did I say at 8 o'clock? I said just give them some time. We spooked them, give them some time. And it was about an hour, and they started gobbling again, moved around on them. And basically I just pretty much picked a spot and called because the woods were so open I knew I couldn't, there wasn't no way I could get to them. But I just got over and just started hammering them, just cutting and going, mouth call, slate call. They was just, he was just fired up. There was two of them. And then when I moved to that last place, I hammered them again, and they came back, and he stayed over there for the longest time. I could see him out there strutting. But I just went quiet. Remember that video I did 2 months ago now, February? Pick a spot. And you just got to go quiet. 45 minutes of sitting there, not saying a word. Here he comes. And they just kept gobbling, wanting me to respond to them, and I wouldn't do it. And here he comes. When a person surrenders, they give up the will to fight. And a lot of times as turkey hunters, we give up that will pretty quick when we mess up and we spook a gobbler. Now, as you just saw, I spooked that gobbler 2 hours before. And I mean, 2 hours before, I totally just blowed the whole thing, and both of them took off flying down the hill. A lot of guys would have just said, man, you know, might as well just go to a new place. We can't call them turkeys. They're not workable. And I've heard all that. I've heard all them myths. You know, they're not workable. You can't call them in. They're shy. They're educated. Might as well forget them and go to another spot or just go home for the day. But that's not true at all. Many, many times, just like that one, I have called back in an hour or two later and wind up killing the same turkey just because I didn't throw in the white flag of surrender. Now, what made that hunt work was a couple things. If you'll notice, the woods was super open. It was really open. I mean, it's just now starting to bud out here in Virginia, where I live. And so I could see the turkeys. Now, the turkeys was out in front of them, but what you didn't see, because there was so much footage and, you know, you can't go but so long, I had the turkeys right in front of me pretty quick when they started gobbling again after an hour. I had them right there. And they came in almost to gun range, but I just couldn't get a clear shot. Well, they started going around me, and they went back up the hill, and now they're gobbling up here, so I had to turn, and I'm pointing straight up like this, just pointing straight up, and I actually see one of the gobbler's heads right there. I could have shot him in the top of the head. He's probably 40 yards, but I just didn't feel comfortable about the shot. I thought they would probably just come on down the point, be a little bit more open. And, you know, I let them go. Well, they didn't. They went back on the other side, and as you saw, they went around me, so I had to turn around, and they got on this side of me. So when I turn around, I can see them out there, you know, 70, 80, 100 yards out there when they get on the hillside. So what do? You can't move, you can't crawl, you can't do anything, because if you can see them, they for sure can see you. So I'm pretty much stuck. Well, they start walking away, and I'm thinking, okay, let them go away, and then, you know, I'll try to move over there and call them back, because they're really fired up. Well, that didn't work, because they didn't leave. They stayed right on that spot about 100, 120 yards, and I was watching them through binoculars, and even through my scope, I was seeing that one out there that I killed. He was just strutting and displaying, but watching that turkey through binoculars, I knew that turkey was not leaving. That turkey had become a sanctuary bird that was just going to stay right there, and he was not leaving, and he was not moving. He wanted that hen to come to him, and he knowed that it was so open he should be able to see. Well, so what do? Well, you can sit there and keep calling, and you can keep calling, and nothing's going to happen. He's just going to stay there and gobble like he did, and he's just going. And it's, you know, it's fun to hear him gobble, but I want to kill him, you know. So they're just going to stay there. He wants you to come to him. So I had to go back to, if you go back 2 months, you know, and I'll link it to this video at the end of it. If you go back 2 months ago in February, one of the first videos we did was this tactic that I used on this gobbler. I used the pick a spot call. I'm 100 and some yards away from this turkey. When they go out around the hill out there, I can see them through binoculars through the open woods. But now I've got to get him over here. So what do? Well, I get totally just fired up. Now, you didn't see all the calling, but I mean, for about 5 straight minutes, I just absolutely got a mouth call, got my slate call, and I had my box call out, and I was just going crazy. And I was, you know, cutting a lot. I was mouth calling a lot. And they were just gobbling, as you heard, just every time they gobble. And you think, man, they have to be fired up. They're going to come running in here. Ain't going to happen. They're not going to come running in there. They're going to stay right there. You got to get them over there, and you can't move. So you pick a spot. But what did I say in the video? And again, you can go watch it at the end of this video. You have to call, get them fired up, and then go quiet. 45 minutes. 45 minutes. It's what it took of going completely silent and him just keep gobbling. I wish I could show y'all the gobbling, but it would take just too long. But he just kept gobbling on his own. He just kept gobbling. I'd see his neck stretch out through binoculars, and I'd watch him, and he's out there strutting, and he's staying in one spot, and he's not moving. But I knew this gobbler was not leaving. And he'd start walking off, and people would get up, you know, they get a little bit nervous. Oh, he's leaving. But I knew he wasn't going to go nowhere just by his body language. But he's looking for me. He keeps gobbling. I go 45 minutes. And I know that's hard, it's tough, and it is torture, because you as a turkey caller want to call, especially when they start going away or they turn and they're gobbling away from you. It sounds like they're going further. Just do everything you can to be patient and not call. 45 minutes I never made a sound on a turkey call, and he just keeps gobbling. And I just looked through the binoculars one time, and I saw that turkey's body language change after 45 minutes, where he was staying in one spot just, you know, strutting. He's feeding around a little bit with that other gobbler, and all of a sudden he moves and he starts walking a little bit faster. He wasn't walking real fast, but he started speeding up a little bit, coming down that holler. When he started coming down that holler in front of me, I throwed that gun up, I throwed the safety off, and I knew it was about to, I just knew that the way the turkey was acting, I knew that he was coming to me. And it was, as you saw, it wasn't 5 minutes when all our two heads, and I think there was another one back there I seen in the video. I didn't even know the other one was back there, but two heads started coming up, and I knew he was the front one. And you know the rest of the story. I was able to shoot him, but it took 45 minutes of complete silence after making all that aggressive calling. So why does that work? Because he thinks them hens are there, and then they just leave, and he can't stand it no more. He's got to go see. And right in that spot, they knew exactly where that spot I was doing all that calling from. It works, folks, I'm telling you. So I just thought it was kind of neat that I did that video 2 months ago, and then I applied it last year, and then applied it this year. And it's a technique that I learned, years and years ago, but it works. And not giving up. So 2 things: pick a spot and not giving up just because you spook a gobbler. Anyone that tells you that you cannot call a gobbler in after you blow the hunt, they don't know what they're talking about. You got to stay there and just go after it. So I just wanted to throw that in at the end of this video and tell you that you can do the same thing. So if you're hunting in open woods, or you're hunting in a situation where you can't move, pick a spot, call them in, go quiet, and you will be successful many, many times. I promise you.